We were talking about older guys, Ian, and you came to mind. You got to be super proud of your
Yeah,
kids.
kids. Yeah, I'm proud of my whole family. I mean, what Geordie's achieved over the last couple of years, he's done South Africa proud, done the family proud. Tassie's back in the Formula, the W Series next year. They curtain raise it to 8 Grand Prix. So I think I'll be working quite a bit next year. My wife and other daughter will be travelling a lot too.
But you've got to get to a couple of Grand Prix. You know, the one thing about the Pepper parents is that you've been super supportive. Forget the financial side, that emotional side and that physical side of being a friendly face, being mom and dad back there to almost hold Geordie and Taz's hands to just as a bit of a rock. It's totally magnificent what you do for the kids.
Yeah, we can only support them by being there. I mean, like I say to Geordie, when I go and watch them race, I help these three in their car. They're like my little kids, and we've got to watch and do their stuff for them, and I really enjoy that side of it, but I don't actually get time to spend a whole day quality time with my son while we're there, because that's his job, and they're busy, and you see him 10 minutes here and 5 minutes for a coffee, or it's the same as coming to the office and you want to see me or you at the office and you're busy. You can't spend a day with him. So it's a job that he wants to do. It's a job that he's been fortunate to get himself involved in. The family supported him all the way. Tassie missed the boat a couple of years ago, but she's back in internationals with this W Series, and it's going places, and she's doing very well with it. So, and then Morgan, our other daughter, she's a provincial netball player. I can't really go and watch netball, but I have to now and again because I get a little bit vocal.
Apparently
Apparently
you're not allowed to say, yeah, come on, go, with a shoulder charge, and you're not supposed to get vocal. I mean...
but I do. And then I get asked to leave the buildings.
Watching those three kids, we're talking about the Bentley drivers, watching them together and the way they gel, there's a special relationship between the three of them.
Look, I've been fortunate over the last 5 years to do a lot of travelling and go to a lot of their races and stuff. And the Bentley boys, as they're called, you've got to go a long way to beat that camaraderie and their team spirit. You don't see the guys leave the circuit in the other teams. They all go with one or two guys and they go their separate ways to their hotel or to go and have a meal or something. These guys do everything together.
They came in here today at the like a pack, and they've stayed.
That's exactly as they are all over the world. They're good friends away from the circuit, and they do a lot of things away from the circuit when they're not racing together. I mean, they've spent a couple of days here. Yeah, it's nice for them to come out here and go to the game reserve and go and play golf and do that all on Leopard Creek and all that sort of stuff, but they've stayed at my house. They didn't have to go and stay in a hotel, and they're quite happy to be there and put their feet up, and the dogs jump all over them, and they get involved, and they wash dishes, and they help braai or do whatever. They go to the shops. It's a real family-orientated side that the drivers have got.
And it must be quite nice for them to get out of the stuck-up, sticky corporate, I don't know, when they go to some of the other races and come back to the Pepper home for a little bit of reality.
Strange reality, but I mean, they do it when they go to different places around the world. They've been to Max's house and spent a week there when they were racing in Belgium, and in France they were at Jules, and they do things. Then they go away for a week at a time, and they go and train or do something for a week at a time together when they're not racing normally. This year's been chaotic. I mean, over, 4 months or something, Geordie had 2 weeks off.
It's crazy.
I mean, there were places where Jules was racing Nürburgring, Jules and Max did Nürburgring 24 like Calvin and them. But Jules had to drive through to Zandvoort to do ADAC GT Masters and then catch a plane back to come do the start of Nürburgring 24 hour. That's all in the same weekend, but it was just a crazy year.
Calvin had that.
Calvin was exactly the same, and there were a couple of them that did it. Axel Jeffries from here did it as well. So their commitment and that, everybody thinks it's a rock star lifestyle. I can tell you it's not.
Hard.
It's hard work. They get out of a car, Geordie and Calvi, and when they finished, and they've just done a 9-hour or 6-hour, they get in a car and they do 1,500 kilometers to get home on a Sunday evening. Because their weekends are basically a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday they're off to the next circuit. And it's been crazy this year with no gaps. They've been every weekend they've been somewhere racing. I think.
And then right at the end of the year they get smacked with a thing with Bentley pulling out of the factory involvement.
Yeah, that's not nice. I mean, all three of them are without contracts for next year, and they've got to try and sort their lives out going forward, but I'm sure they'll come right.
Well, the phone must have been beeping with all the messages that are coming in.
I haven't heard or seen it. They don't phone me anymore, so they've got to deal with it. We just support Geordie with what needs to be done.
And your off weekends here, or from the kids racing, you've been playing around on your motorbike, and you're loving that, eh?
Yeah, that's good fun, eh? That's like really good fun. You put your helmet on, you get out there, you're racing, trying your best, falling, breaking ribs, wrists, whatever it is.
Your wrists are okay now. I mean, as one gets older, the bones get
now, so from last week. But yeah, I'm having fun. I love doing it, and I go ride bikes every weekend. Work during the week, go ride bikes on weekends. Stays a little bit fit. I have a good bunch of youngsters that I'm involved with that I help sponsor and nurture, and their parents and that. And, you know, it's like a family atmosphere. I've got to race something. I'm a little bit tired of, there's no real spark to go back to circuit racing, but I really enjoy the bikes. Put your helmet on, you're out there for 4-5 hours in the bush, there's nobody to complain to you.
You get lots of adrenaline quickly.
100%, and yeah, it's good fun, eh?
Jordan, Iain, Jordan, Pepper, Peps and Plastics was where my mind was. You've done a lot of work. You mentioned the kids that you support and youngsters that you support, but I think the South African motorsport fraternity owes you a massive, massive thank you for stuff that you've done for people who will remain unnamed. You don't look for any credit, but you've done a bucket load to help people. And I just want to say, Iain, thank you very much for helping those guys that you have to make racing better. You're a good man for doing that.
Look, I was fortunate for nearly 40 years, what I got out of motorsport. We're in a stage now where my sport is my passion. It's not a business anymore. And yes, if I can help and nurture a young kid or a family that's battling a little bit or whatever, and we get on well, we run at a team as a family atmosphere. That's number one. If you win, it's great. We smile. When you finish second or you don't finish, you got to smile and have a beer afterwards and laugh. And that's what we're trying to instill in the guys.
That enjoyment of racing. I mean, that's why everybody starts racing again.
So I'm fortunate that I can do it, and Cheryl allows it to happen through the business and whatever, and gives me the time, and she's the financial guru. And we watch what we spend in that, but I have good fun. I am keeping a little bit fit. I mean, I'm touching the 60s at the moment, so yeah, and people say you shouldn't be riding motorbikes. I did it. That's how I grew up, was racing motorbikes. And I broke my back, went to cars. And I never got on a bike for 35 years. And then when I started with Husqvarna sponsoring, I said, well, am I standing here? Let me get a bike and go for a ride. And that's where I started riding again 4.5 years ago. So I love every minute of it. I wouldn't not do it again. But yeah, I enjoy helping, and I'm fortunate that I can put something back into motorsport, which gave me so much.
Don't ever let them tell you that 60 is old. I find that it's quite invigorating when you got your pensioner's card and you can get the 10% discount. So look forward to that.
They've been offering it to me when I got a Pick and Pay since I was 50.
It's just because you're a high mileage model.
Yeah.
You're going to race bikes again next year?
100%, yeah. Changing over to a new brand, bringing another brand back into the fold. And
come on, give us a hint. What color?
I'll tell you what, it's green.
Green. You've got to make those T-shirts. Back in the day, in the highlight when I was young and stuff, there was a T-shirt that was, if you don't ride a kawa, you're a whatever rhymes with it. You've got to make those T-shirts again. Iain Pepper, thank you very much for chatting to us. Congratulations on you breed good, young man. Thank you for what you've done for motorsport. You're a total asset to South African motorsport, and you'll be very proud of your kids. Thanks for talking to us.
Thanks for giving me the time.
Cheers.